Hello, Sparrows. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. Hi, Junior. How are you? Running a few minutes behind tonight. There's been some changes in schedule as far as a guest tonight, which is a-okay. I was just hoping to kind of rest my voice a little bit because you can hear it. It's a little bit quirky, a little bit. Lost my voice over the weekend, so hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me out there pretty good? Let me know. Send me a note. Let me know you can hear me well. Hi, Sandy. Sandy Longo, I miss you, woman. Terrell. Whew. I'm catching my breath. I've been running around in here. Trust me, I've been running around. Got a little bit of a change of schedule. My guest, Nikisha, isn't going to be on tonight. Nikisha King, she had a family emergency, so I'm flying solo, which is not a problem. Not a problem at all. Hi, Pearl. Welcome to the room. So this month, October, is the month of relationships. I'm just going to be talking about different things pertaining to relationships. And of course, it's Optimistic October. So getting out and making sure you have some fun and some fashion for the month. So do something, get out, have a good time. So welcome. For those of you who don't know who I am Valerie Miller, the Valerie Miller of TVM. So it's going to be a fun time. And hey, Terrell, I just got a Snapchat from Nadia. So I think I want to turn the phone off here so I can Snapchat her back in a little while. Hi, Audra. So like I said, it's a little bit change of schedule tonight. I did have a guest, Nikisha King. However, I'm going to be talking about relationships myself. And we all have, times when we have to consider boundaries. And it's important to have boundaries within relationships, because if you don't set some on the front end, you live to regret it, making attempts to put them in place on the back end. And it's not so easy always to do that after the fact. So go crazy with your like, love, share. If you have some friends that you know could probably utilize some information that I'm sharing tonight, just some nuggets here and there, be sure to go ahead and share and let me know so I can connect with them. It's always a good time to have conversations about things that we know about these things. We just tend to forget over time. Something so simplistic, we tend to kind of push to the side because we think, we'll let this slide or we'll let that slide. And sometimes you can let too many things slide in relationships, and then they kind of compound, and then there's a combustion. So we try to avoid those combustible moments. I know I do. But if you notice behind me, there is a blank canvas. It's just a white wall. And those of you who know me know I am all into color. I like vibrant. And weeks past since starting Wisdom Wednesdays, it's always been something to look at back there. However, I'm just going to let you know right here, right now, that I am no longer in Alpharetta, Georgia. I'm not in Alpharetta anymore, and I have transitioned back home to Charlotte. So I'm back in the Queen City, and this is fabulous. I hadn't realized how much I missed Charlotte until I got back here. So it's great to be back home, and I picked up my crown at the North Carolina line. So if you can't see it, the halo's there, the Queen Sparrow is back in town. So I'm thrilled about it, and it has a little bit to do with boundaries. So it's really appropriate to talk about these things tonight. And I won't go into full detail, but there had been some stalker-ish, behaviors taking place. Someone, and I can't point fingers or call any names. However, I know who it was, but there had been some stalker behavior going on in my life, along with some other things that's in life. So the best thing to be safe and not be a statistic is to just come back home. Home is a safe place, and you need to know when to pull the trigger when things aren't going quite right, and there are people in your circle that you trust, that you love. Hi, Aaron. Welcome to the room. When you know and trust and loved at one point in time in life, we don't know everybody. We don't know people as well as we think we do. I will admit that. It's only so many times you can be forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. But then, sometimes that jack in the box, he stands up or she stands up and it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me right now? Relationships can end. And when they end, not both parties are always willing to separate. And I'll draw that little fine line in the sand right there. This person I've known for a very long time, and that's what happened. He wasn't willing to say goodbye. So there's no reason to stalk somebody. It's just not safe, and you can never be too careful. So by all means, if you have any stories when it comes to boundaries or an incident or where, someone has taken advantage of a situation or in your life and you feel like there had been an occurrence that will shake your foundation, that make you think twice and then go back to the beginning of the relationship and you say, you know what, there were signs, there were many signs and should have been rectified at that time. And when it's not, we live to regret those things. But I won't say a full-on regret here. I can say for myself, hi Shatavia, I can say for me, it was just eye-opening. It's eye-opening, and being conscious and aware of everybody that's in your life that comes and goes and you think you know them. Just be sure to understand that you don't. You don't. It doesn't matter how long you know someone. We're constantly growing and evolving, and when everyone isn't in the relationship isn't evolving the same, then there becomes an imbalance in that bunch of imbalances. So yeah, that's what I was talking about tonight. And Keisha was going to bring her perspective on the relationship handbook that she wrote, and I was going to talk about some things that I wrote myself and how I became fabulous and a lady all the time. So we were going to share some things. There I am, 2017. So it's different things and signs to look for. And, funny thing, I wrote about those signs. I saw those signs with the same individual that I wrote about, even in the book, but oh my goodness, oh my gosh. I never thought I would be someone that would have to deal with a stalker situation, but you never know. You never know in life. You never know. So none of you are out there sharing anything. I know I'm not the only person in the world has dealt with some things like this. However, you can be quiet about it. Those are private things. It's just a little eye-opening. But I tell you what, it's great to be back in the city. Queen City has changed so much, and I know I'm going to be turned around for quite a while until I figure my way out around here again. But Alpharetta has served me well. I enjoyed Georgia for 8 years. It's been a wonderful thing. Made some great friends and pretty much family there as well. So it's a little bit bittersweet to cross over from Georgia, South Carolina, and back into North Carolina territory. However, I am a blessed gal, and I am fortunate to be home. Fortunate to be home. But, there are some signs that you look for. And in the book, I wrote about pupitos, pupitos. And, if you read the book, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, pupitos are pretty much punks under pretense engaged as the one. And these can be men, it could be women. It's just people that we have in our everyday life, and they put on facade, they put on airs. They pretty much become the person they feel you want and in your life. And to become that individual, I had never witnessed anything like it. So to write about pupitos, it's pretty darn interesting. It's interesting. It's quite a few other things I've written in here, but I won't go through it all tonight because I'd like for you to read it. So I'm going to actually give away a copy. I'll be giving away a copy. Actually, the PDF version of it for those who want to actually read it. So it just takes basically sharing the live tonight, share it, making a couple of comments or whatever, liking and loving, things that I can see, engagement in the room. And I will email you a copy of How I Became Fabulous and a Lady all the time, because the title, I know most men tend to think that it's all about women. It's women that I'm talking about. Actually, no. It's a lot of men who took away some great points and could resonate with some things that was taken on in their lives as well. So I had just as many guys to comment of great things. Well, Junior, you can get a hard copy from Amazon, Amazon.com. And go over there, $16.99 shipping and handling. But like I said, I can easily kind of just shoot out a PDF, but it might be something that you want to have, because I have someone who's read that book front cover to back cover. She uses it in our Bible study. The things this girl has done with this book, I mean, she's completely worn it out to where I'm going to give her a new copy. She's worn that copy out so much, and she's told so many people about it. So I'm grateful. Book 2 is going to be coming out in February as well. As we all know, I'll be the big 50. So 50 Full Circle is going to be taking place February 17. So amazingly, book 2 is going to be dropping on the same day. So I think it's just something that I'm going to be doing when it comes to my books and releasing several that I've been writing. But number 2 comes out in February. So don't be shy. You can say whatever you want tonight. But I think I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet for the simple fact, engagement and my voice is going out. So I don't think I'm going to be talking for a whole lot. Not tonight. I'm keeping it pretty brief. But like I said, I'm back in the Queen City. I'm loving it. It's great to see people I haven't seen in a while. But, it's just basically going to be shocking to some because I left town without a trace. And it was the safest thing for me to do. So, and I know it's going to be some phone calls coming in, some emails, text messages of the people who had no idea, no clue as to what was going on. But it's not like I could come and make it my Facebook status. I couldn't do that. So dealing with Alpharetta Police Department with all this stuff, and it wasn't something that I could just disclose and just put out there because there was no proof, of the person doing what they were doing because of rollover numbers, these back window numbers, and, mindful little threats and things like that. So I had to be about it. But it was the best benefit for me to just scoot on out of town and nobody not know about it. So it's good to be back home with family and friends and know that I don't have to be looking over my shoulder because, somebody crazy might jump out of the bushes. I laugh now, but it was very unnerving to know that someone that you once upon a time loved could become this person. He actually became it to me. However, he was that person all the time. I just gave excuses for that. It was excuses for it. But you cannot have excuses for behaviors that prompt red flags or things that make you say, that didn't make sense. Why would he do that? Those types of things. And I'm pretty sure you all may be able to relate as well. But it's behind me. Smooches to Alpharetta. And hello back to the Queen City. So you're going to be seeing me around here just buzzing around. So I've got to make my mark here all over again. And, transitioning my business and all of that. It's going to take some time, but it's already been some welcoming committees of people already that I'm thrilled about doing some work here in Charlotte, because the things I was working on in Alpharetta is going to be a bigger deal here because I'm home. It's home, and it's things that Atlanta had going on that isn't happening here in Charlotte. So that's a win for me, and that's about the gist of it. So if there's any questions or anything you would like to say, guys, just go ahead and do that. And if not, I'm going to say smooches for now. But you know what? Last week there was, I had a winner because I gave away, or was in a drawing to give away 30 minutes of coaching. And so what I did, I put that person's name in the hat, and the winner is actually Bridget Neal. Bridget won, and so she gets 3 minutes of conscious change coaching with me. So that's going to be pretty interesting. That the winner of the night was someone who wasn't single. She's married. So, and last week it was all about the singles, you know, all single ladies, all that. So guess what? Shonda, I see you're on the line. I just gave you some praises, girl, about how you've ripped my book apart with all of the praises and sharing and making it a part of your Bible studies and all. However, I had a married woman to win from my contest last week. But like I said, I'm going to be emailing out whomever, and I'm opening it up as well to the playback. So I know it's not a lot of time that I'm putting in tonight. It's only been 20 minutes since I've been on, but I do need to rest this voice, moving back and forth. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all the support and everything that I received from family and very few friends that were aware, you know, of what was actually happening with me. And so you can't be too mad, because if you hadn't been in touch with me, there's a reason why you didn't know. But at the same time, I'm back in Charlotte. I'm grateful. I am excited to be here and ready to get some things done. Love you also, Shonda. But that's all I have for you tonight. This is it. I'm going to get out of here and drink some tea for this voice so I can make it. I do appreciate everybody coming on tonight. And for those of you that are watching the playback, be sure to say that you're watching the playback. And like I said, if you're interested in me shooting out a copy of the PDF of How I Became Fabulous and a Lady All the Time, because it's definitely in alignment with, you know, the reasons why I'm back in Charlotte. One of the reasons, not the sole reason, it's just one of the reasons. But it was a long time for, you know, to come back home. You know, my parents are closer. I want to be closer to my family and be able to do more with them, because being so far out of the net is tough to do, and getting around and making sure I keep my focus where it belongs. Family first. That's how it's always been with me. So I'm getting a little bit older myself, and so being mindful of my parents and my siblings, you know, doing things with them. So it's time to get on back in here. But that's about the gist. Again, thank you so much for coming on. And if I've forgotten something, please forgive it, because I'm doing so much right now since getting back to town over the weekend. And again, that clear wall back there is driving me nuts. And if I don't put some color on it, bring some life and vibrance back into this life of mine, which I have been with packing, unpacking, throwing away, you know, it's a great time to do these things. Get rid of things that are no longer necessary in your life. Filter these things out. People included. I didn't stutter, Sparrows. People included that's not bringing good to your life, not bringing joy and happiness and love and pushing you where you need to be rid of them. It's time to say smooches. I'll see you later. You serve purpose. Thank you for your time in my life. However, the time has come for our relationship to be expired. And I wish you well. Take care of yourself. And then you go on with your life. It's very important. It's vital that you put yourself at the forefront. Make sure that you're safe, that you're happy, that you're not stressing, and you restoring peace. You know, that was last month's challenge, dealing with the peace. Hi, Medicine. Thank you for dropping in. But it's important. Do you, be fabulous, fierce, brave, bold, whatever you have to do. Get it done so you can live your best life now. There's no reason to procrastinate and to put it off for any reason. You deserve the best now. And whatever you have to do to obtain that, do it. That simple. Make the decision, and it's a qualified decision. Get it done. Get it done. That's all I have to say about that. And if it's some things you need to talk about in private, ring me up. You know how to find me. You can find me here on Facebook. And of course, there are other means. Instagram as well. So that's all I have for you tonight, my sparrows. I'm keeping it short and sweet. Like I said, my guest canceled on me tonight, and that was only due to an emergency. And we'll just reschedule her for later in the month, possibly next week or the following, because like I said, this month is the month of relationships. And for those of you now coming on, just a note, just to let you know, I'm no longer in Alpharetta. You know how much I love Alpharetta, you know, and it served me well. It serves me well. Hi, Brina. It's so good to see you. I haven't chatted with you in a little while. You doing okay? Let me know how you're doing. It's been a little while. But I tell you what, I'm trying to restore my voice, and it's going more and more, and I've been drinking these big 32 ounces of water all day long in hopes that I would have one for tonight. And so I do, actually. And I'm going to take a sip of it. Hold on. Oh my gosh. But thank you so much for coming on. It's great to be back home, and I'm excited about all of the things that are going to be taking place now that I'm back in Charlotte. Yes, everything's going well. Okay. As long as you're doing good, I'm good too. All right. So that's it, my darling. I'm going to get off so I can get back to what I was doing before. So I'm giving you some time back, because normally I will be on here for a good hour. Every single week I say I'm going to be off in 30 minutes or less. It never happens. It continues to go on and on and on till an hour. And I don't have time for that tonight. I really don't have the energy for it tonight. So meet me back here. I may even come back on tomorrow or Friday, just because. I don't know yet. I really don't know yet. But the possibility is strong that I will. But because I really have to be reacclimated to the Queen City. And I know for a fact, the more I travel around this city, I'm going to be probably doing lives from wherever I am as I'm traveling around and getting turned around. But I do miss this city, and it's great to be back here. And like I said, this sparrow has come home back to Charlotte, and it's a fabulous thing. So, hi, Emily. I can't wait to see you, dear. You and my Eli and Taj, you know, Madison. So, that's all I got tonight, my dears. If there's any lingering notes that you want to inbox me, you want to write on the wall, by all means do so, and I'll be more than happy to come on and respond to those. So Messenger is cool. Send me notes there. I tend to get a lot of them, more than I'd like most days, but it's all good. So I'm going to say love without conditions. Always possess a positive attitude and soar in all you do. And whatever you do, set your boundaries in relationships, not just, you know, within, you know, committed relationships, you know, family, friends. Every single relationship warrants boundaries. So you can protect yourself. You can keep yourself, you know, happy, and nobody's crossing that fine line in the sand. Okay? That's very important. So good night to you. I love you. Mean it. Switches.